What's good, world? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my review of the Google Pixel 2 XL. Now, to provide context, I bounce back and forth between Android and iOS, so I'm not really biased in any way. I don't have any brand loyalty, so you're not going to get some brainwashed review from a guy that only likes Pixels or only likes iPhones. To give you my history with Android, I've been using Android phones for years now. My first Android phone was the first Android phone, which was the HTC G1 from T-Mobile. That was the first Google phone ever, and I've loved Android ever since. I've owned several different Galaxy devices. I owned the first generation Pixel, which you can find my review on the channel. I'll go ahead and throw a card up. So when the opportunity arose for me to get this phone, I sold the S8 Plus, paid it off, and it kept my attention for quite a while. I'll go ahead and give you guys my thoughts. I'm going to run down a list of the pros, the cons, and give you my overall opinion on it all. Keep it short and sweet and to the point. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the cons and then end on a positive. So first off on my list of things that I do not like about this device is the display. So with this display, I got a bad rap early on. People were really angry about the fact that the color shifting with the screen, the blue shift, was really bad. Also, the color temperature for the screen itself was pretty muted, but they went ahead and fixed that issue by adding a saturated mode, which boosted the colors tremendously, almost exaggerates them a bit, but it gives you something that's more similar to like a Samsung Galaxy phone, something that's reminiscent of a OLED display, something with punchy colors, high contrast ratio, that looks really good. Another thing that I really don't like about this device is the design of it all. I feel like they could have shrunken this device down, making it a little bit more ergonomic. Also, at times it feels like the screen is kind of sunken in because it's surrounded by bezels on all sides. It just doesn't feel very 2017, 2018 in my opinion. Also, given the fact that this phone doesn't go from edge to edge and it doesn't have a really slim bezel, they really didn't have to curve it on all sides, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of an exaggerated curve. A 2.5D curve would have been perfect. Something that's like a subtle curve, so that way you can use the Android user interface and slide from side menus fluidly without having to, you know, have a dramatic curve like this. This pretty much ruins the ability for you to add any type of tempered glass screen protector, because really, honestly, curved screen protectors are trash, and they only put adhesive on the borders of the screen, and it's really just no bueno. And even if you get a Zag tempered glass screen protector that's like that self-healing, super thick, weird looking screen protector, eventually it ends up peeling up if you put the wrong case with it, and it just makes things look kind of muddy and warped. And the last thing on my list of the things that I don't like about this device is no wireless charging. Now, I understand that they wanted to have a mostly aluminum body to kind of follow the design trademark that they made with the first Pixel, with the window at the top with the glass, but they really need to figure out how to have wireless charging on this device. If not, even just add maybe some pin connectors within the Google logo. To not have wireless charging when the iPhone 10 has it is kind of ridiculous. I mean, typically Apple is always behind when it comes to these things, and they're just now adding wireless charging, but the Google Pixel hasn't had it for 2 generations, and it needs it because everyone's becoming accustomed to it, especially now that all users have the ability to have wireless charging on their devices, from iOS to a wide range of Android phones. The Google flagship device and the representative of Android needs wireless charging. Now that we've gotten that out of the way and we've evened the playing field and shown that you guys that I'm not biased in any way, that this phone does have its flaws, let's cover some of the pros of this device and tell you what separates it from the crowd. So first and foremost, this phone's claim to fame is its camera. The camera is phenomenal. It is magical. Portrait mode is something that is, it's unreal. Portrait mode is unreal on this device. When it comes to front-facing selfies, they've perfected the machine learning in the software to detect edges like no other. I oftentimes take photos with this phone over my iPhone 10. There's no other camera out there that is better than this on a mobile device. Hands down, in my opinion, my humble opinion. One of the things I really enjoy about the portrait mode on this device is the fact that you don't have to worry about the move further back or get closer verbiage BS that's on the iPhone. So you don't have to worry about being too close to the subject or too far away. It's going to use that machine learning and the software built in to detect the edges and separate the foreground from the background to give you the perfect blur effect. It's butter. High dynamic range on this camera is phenomenal. You're able to still preserve details within the shadows while not blowing out highlights. The background is perfectly lit while leaving the foreground lit as well. I mean, everything, the colors are punchy. Everything about the HDR mode on this is bar none. It is amazing. And moving on to the video, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Now, If anything is worth taking a video of, I'm not gonna be using my phone to take a video of it. Say for instance, I'm filming an event that, you know, I wanna preserve a memory that I wanna highlight. I'm not gonna be taking a video with my camera phone because I feel like cameras on phones haven't gotten video right just yet. Some are better than others. None of them are better than a DSLR or a cinema camera in my opinion. It does pictures way better than it does video. I'll say that. The video isn't bad though by any means. I just personally don't take too many videos on phones. So a lot of times when I tell people and they're on the fence about getting this device versus another one is the fact that there aren't as many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to this device. So when they're pushing out a software update to their phones, you don't have to worry about it being married with TouchWiz or LG's weird user interface or Motorola's semi-stock user interface. It is fluid and stock straight from the beginning, and it's made to pair with this hardware perfectly. So this is the perfect marriage of software and hardware on the Android side of the fence, and they do it perfectly, honestly. There's a very fluid experience, very consistent. You don't have to worry about random glitches or lags. This just works. So whenever people talk about the iPhone, they say it just works. This is Android's iPhone. This just works. The last pro for this, I'll say, is something that's kind of underrated for the most part because a lot of people don't use it all the time. It's your stereo front-facing speakers. Because when you're watching a YouTube video, normally you're in an environment that you can't really blast your phone speakers like that. Maybe you're on a lunch break at work, you have people around you, maybe you're on a subway or a train or somewhere where you could disturb others. But if you are in a situation where you're maybe showing a video to a friend on Facebook or YouTube and you want to play your phone audio, but you don't have to worry about it being super low and foo-foo, you don't have to worry about it not being loud enough, you don't have to worry about, you know, not providing some level of immersion, this is your best bet, honestly. The front-facing speakers on this are great. It's kind of a tack-on feature that I feel like they really added just to justify the bigger forehead and chin on this phone, but in my eyes it definitely doesn't justify it because there are other phones out there that manage to be a little bit more innovative with how they conduct sound through the frame of the device, maybe it vibrating a certain way, or really just making that speaker grill super slim. Because even if you look at this, the speaker grill on this device is very slim. They didn't need the extra ½ inch on either side of it for the bezel, to be honest. So to give you guys my final thoughts on this device, this is definitely the best Android phone that you can get. Maybe not the least expensive, maybe not the, you know, the prettiest, but it is the best well-rounded package. It gives you the things that most people care about when they get a phone. Battery life. This has very good battery life. I mean, being the fact that it's optimized perfectly with the hardware, and it does have a decent sized battery in it, you don't have to worry about not being able to go through a full day. But overall, I'd say that this is definitely the total package when it comes to Android. It blows many other Android phones out of the water in my opinion because I prioritize software over many things. I'm not a huge fan of, you know, amazing hardware but very crappy software, because it doesn't matter how many cores are in your processor, how much RAM your phone has, if it can't load up the gallery without glitching or lagging, or if it can't scroll through certain screens without lagging, that is a deal breaker for me in any situation. But if you guys like this tech review and want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also the little bell so that way you're notified the next time I do upload a video. It's been a pleasure as usual. Follow me everywhere and stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, peace.